Live from New York, it's, I don't know, some night, Wednesday night. God, pandemic is painful. Anyway, James, you just missed Obama's speech. Me and Del were just talking about it. I had it on in the background.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear it.
Big time speech. He went hard. He took Donald Trump by the old cojones and he dragged him across the stage. And now I think the race is done. After this,
It just took Obama giving one speech.
What do you think, Della? That speech really turned the tides.
I think it turned the tides in Philadelphia. Obama was angry, bro.
Obama was
really
angry. Yeah, he went off.
He was
addressed him not angry, but he was like, he got his little jabs in. He was like, he was pissed at Trump. I think Trump recently blasted him for, I don't know, he was going to say that he killed SEAL Team 6 or something. I mean, I think it pissed him off. Yeah,
something nightmarish,
QAnon conspiracy theory bullshit. But I was making calls. I was telling Della earlier, I was making calls to Pennsylvania, and there's some friggin' freaks over there. I'll tell you that. I don't know how we get the call list, but I'm just sitting there, just like calling everybody, and then they have a little prompt of like, "Hi, is this Clarence? Like, is this Larry?" And it's like you just ask these questions, and they're like, "No, he's dead. Don't call here anymore." And I'm like, this is my life. This is my time. You can't just say, "Yes, this is Larry." "Yes, this is Larry. What do you want?" And I go, "Please vote." And he goes, I'm already voting for Trump. And then you go, "Okay, thanks for answering." And then that's it. That's what I'm doing. I was thinking about going to Pennsylvania and canvassing. What do you think? Door to door, knock, knock, knock. Della?
Just don't go to the rural parts that have guns.
No, but I'll go with I was thinking about wearing like a fanny pack and like a shirt that says like, "I love America," right? People won't even know what I stand for. What do you think?
I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, I think you should know how it goes.
All right, fine. You just think I should make phone calls? I think the polling is showing double-digit leads in Pennsylvania, but as we all know, the polls are bullshit.
Yeah,
I think the polls are getting more and more aligned. I mean, I follow those things very closely, and I think they're getting more and more aligned.
They have to be, right? Because they all the mistakes from 2016 they have to be factoring in. So it's bullshit. They're just telling that to me so that I make more stupid phone calls to people that are not going to answer the phone. That's why they tell me the polls are off. James, are the polls really off or are they not off? Because they already knew if they were still off from 2016, they would change them. They just don't want people to get complacent again. So they don't do anything. They don't vote, and then we lose again. What do you think?
Was that a question or was that just a statement?
It's a statement. Is it bullshit? They're lying to us about these polls. The polls are probably showing Joe Biden way ahead, and they're just lying to me. So I have to go and call.
Who the hell is answering these polls?
Apparently, a lot of people. They call and people pick up.
The undecided voters, after the last debate, James, these people finally turned and made a decision. That was enough. Yeah. They got the answers they needed. They didn't have them before the debate, but after that debate, they knew what they wanted to hear. It's a mess, and it's Trump's fault.
I told y'all, look, by the way, you thought it was nuts about that debate, and I told you that there was 11% undecided voters, and that 11% tuned in, and if you watch the polls, Biden's lead is widened by 4 points since that debate.
Stop it, Della. Stop pushing these fake undecided voters on us. We're not buying it. We're not going to buy it. They're not watching. They didn't watch the debate. I want to see the 11% that were identified, and I want to see where they thought after the debate, if they watched the debate. Out of the 11%, I read a stat that said 85% didn't watch the debate and don't care about politics. What are your thoughts on that?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I made it up. I made up that stat. That's how stupid the undecided voters are.
Again, that's why I said I wouldn't be surprised. It's America, man. Like
it's done. It's done. I'm pretty sure the election's done. I'm gonna still make phone calls, and I don't want anybody that doesn't listen to this podcast to start getting complacent. I would say go vote, especially the Pennsylvania listeners and the Arizona listeners. Any swing state listeners, there's a lot of Floridians tuning in right now, and they got to go out and vote because their vote matters. Unlike us plebes in New York who get our stupid ballots and they're all messed up, and the plebes in California. James has been getting some nice documents about voting, right, James?
Yeah, Montana's getting close.
Montana's getting close, James. Are you a swing state now?
Probably not. But it would be really nice if we were.
That'd be cool. I'd vote for Biden if I lived in Montana. Wait. Before we get into anything, before the last debate, we recorded before the last debate, and that was before Trump got COVID. So in the time from when we last recorded to now, Trump got COVID. Isn't that wild? Guy's a lunatic. Guy got COVID himself. He COVID himself.
Didn't matter, bro.
Didn't matter. I think it mattered. I think that was the end for some people. I think people were like, I really want to get out. I think no. Listen to this. I mean, not the undecided voters. I don't think they were affected. They don't pay attention to me.
But I think you're gonna die on this one, huh? This is the hill you die on. Undecided voters don't know shit. They're never gonna choose.
They're never going to choose. They're going to go into the polls, and they're just going to go 50-50, flip a coin. They don't know what's going on. They're not even going to vote. They're so undecided. They're just stagnant. They can't make a decision. But I'm thinking, like, imagine you heard Donald Trump. Imagine you're like, okay, the thing that everybody cares about is COVID. How the hell do we get out of the pandemic? Are we ever going to get out of the pandemic? And then you see the president of the United States, who's calling it all fake, actually get COVID. I mean, it's got to turn somebody. At some point, you got to be like, dude, we're never going to get out of this if this guy's still president. This guy's getting it himself. Like, this guy's a lunatic. He got COVID himself, and a bunch of people that went to that weird Rose Garden super spreader event also got COVID. And who's going to vote for a guy that gets COVID? It would be like if Joe Biden got COVID, Donald Trump would be like, look at this loser. He got COVID himself. He's a weak loser that gets viruses. What a dumb loser. And yet nobody's like, wow, Donald Trump's a fucking idiot. Guy got COVID. He's supposed to get us out of the pandemic, and he himself got COVID. Who can trust a guy that gets the virus himself to get us out of the pandemic? This has got to be the end. This has got to be the end.
Look, you say that, and it's still close, bro. Everybody is still close, man. By the way, Montana is Trump +6 now. Just an FYI.
James, You're not doing shit over there. I've been looking at the polls too. This is bullshit. James should be on that. He doesn't do nothing. Pennsylvania's Biden.
I haven't been doing anything.
Pennsylvania's Biden +6 though. That's pretty good. That's an average of a bunch of polls.
Right. No, I mean you just need to keep pushing hard in Pennsylvania.
It's all about the swing states. That's all I'm saying. It's all about these damn swing states. I was doing Arizona, Pennsylvania. I'm like, I don't even know what he has left. Florida? Is Florida the close swing state still?
Georgia is tied.
But that's not a swing state.
It is now.
Well, I know, but I'm not fighting for it. I'm like, hold my breath on Georgia. I would hope that. Texas,
I would, man.
You're holding James. James is not even have his headphones on. James,
Texas is also tied.
James, Georgia is flipping blue.
Wow, that's incredible.
And Texas is, I know. Well, these things are cool, but I don't care about them, Della. I don't even want you to pretend to make me care about them. The fact that you even brought them up makes me upset.
Wait, I gotta ask Della a question. If you were gonna send a political ad flyer to somebody in Montana, what would it look like?
It would definitely have open space, open sky on it. So
there you go.
Okay, open sky. What do you think you'd put a shape on the flyer itself? What's quintessential Montana?
I mean, horses, livestock, oil, if there's any oil left.
So you're talking cowboy style.
Yeah, cowboy style. And then if I could put a big AR-15 on the back of it, I think that might help.
All right, show it. Bring it up. Bring it up.
Yeah,
Dave.
So I mean, you're pretty close.
Oh, it's a cowboy hat. It's a cowboy hat. The listeners didn't know. Open it up. What else is going on in there? Oh, open space and horses. Montana's economy is on the right path, and it's a bunch of fucking horse riders following each other. Oh, there's some hay. There's literally hay. A guy digging hay.
And then you got to vote for Steve Daines.
Oh,
what a piece of shit that guy is.
Right.
So, like, are Montanans opening that up and going like, this is the guy, like shoveling that hay is like what a real Montanan does? Do they buy that, or are they like, this guy's a piece of
they
shit?
do buy it, which is crazy because the guy, I don't even think Steve Daines is from Montana, and like they're obsessed with having like family lineage in Montana. You have to be like 3 or 4 generations deep to be like a real Montanan. And
so where's his rival?
Steve Bullock. He's from Missoula, and he's like a native Montanan.
So why doesn't he say, like, look at me, I'm a real Montanan. This guy's a phony. He's just shoveling hay. He doesn't even know what that is. He doesn't even know about horses.
Well, you know what? That would be a very accurate thing. And the thing that they're trying to do is they keep going on this China thing. Like, so all the political ads I get are like Steve Daines. Well, actually, it's Steve Bullock is like friends with China.
Steve
and then
Bullock,
it's like
the random ass. So you're saying this random senator from Montana is friends with China? Why? What did he do? He is Chinese?
They have some like conspiracy theory about that, and then that his brother, that he's been funneling money to himself through his brother's business. But then the thing is, like, this Senator Steve Daines, the incumbent, is like a businessman who lived in China for like a decade. And they like
it's kind of like it's the same as like, the presidency, man. It's mirroring the presidency. Didn't you just hear about this story from the Times about
the
Donald
Hunter
Trump's?
Biden?
No. Well, the Hunter Biden laptop, but Donald Trump's like secret Chinese bank account, where he's paid more.
Oh no, I didn't hear about that.
Yes,
that's good. It broke. It was a story about Donald Trump has like some Chinese bank account that he doesn't tell anyone about, and it has like Obama made a joke that he paid more in taxes to China than he did in the U.S. Which, I mean, if you paid more than $750 in 2 years that he paid taxes, then it's accurate. I mean, that's not really a high threshold for paying federal taxes to the government, but I mean, who knows? But no, I mean, also, the Hunter Biden story. There's a lot of stories going around. I didn't actually know about the Hunter Biden story because it was too stupid and nobody was fact-checking it, so they didn't want to post it. But that shit spread around social media. Give me the scoop. Della, do you know about the story? All it was they found out. Yeah, give me the scoop.
So what happened was he last April, Hunter Biden went to a car mechanic shop. Apparently left 3 laptops. I don't know. I don't believe that number, but he left a laptop because the Biden family has not denied that he left a laptop. So that definitely is true.
Okay, left a laptop at the car shop.
Right, and the guy who had the dealership apparently didn't try to give this laptop back to Hunter Biden. Somehow the laptop made its way through some network of people, and the information of it came to, how coincidentally, to Rudy Giuliani and Steve Bannon. Of course, 2 people who we should trust with any information, not disinformation, of course.
So they're the source. They're
they are the source. So
Deep Throat.
They are the Deep Throat.
Wow.
Yeah.
You trusted, James? You trust that news source? Rudy Giuliani and Steve Bannon, the 2 like biggest psychopaths in the world, who are definitely going to be in prison by the time once Donald Trump's out of office and there's no pardons left to give. Isn't Steve Bannon already like indicted for having that charity that didn't give any money to a wall, but instead went to give it to his pocket so he could buy like fur coats and boats and stuff? What a big asshole. These people are like, don't give a shit about anything they're saying. All right, so wait, so the mechanic with the laptop, so what happened? So what's the deal? So the laptop has what?
So the laptop has information, apparently some emails that are showing that Joe Biden is Hunter Biden is funneling money to Joe Biden through accounts from the Ukraine and through other countries.
To fund what?
It's not to fund anything. It's just to enrich themselves. And so that's through the company that Hunter Biden is on the board of.
So Hunter Biden is on Burisma, and they're funneling money into Hunter Biden's account? No,
into Joe Biden's accounts.
Oh.
And Joe Biden is complicit in it, right? And
he likes it. He's like taking in the dough from Burisma. There's no chance this story's true, is it?
I don't believe. I believe the laptop part, that the laptop exists. Yes. Do I believe anything else? No, absolutely not.
God, these stories are so dumb.
So it's a money laundering thing? I thought it was like another pedophile ring scandal.
It's
No, it's
specifically
a
the
classic money laundering, your old school style of scamming.
Yes.
Yeah,
that is exactly like how could Trump accuse anybody of money laundering?
It's the funniest part. Of all of it.
Like,
don't worry, dude. I have it from a reliable source. Rudy Giuliani. He knows what's going on. He doesn't have any bias on either side.
No,
There's
not
nothing
one
to
bit.
gain. Well, that's the dumbest story I ever heard in my entire life. Even if it's true, who gives a shit? Oh no, Burisma's sending money to a Joe Biden bank account. There's a 0% chance that anybody actually knows that that's true. The
No.
New York Post, you think they think they're telling the truth? Didn't they break the story?
The New York Post is one, a tabloid, and two, they were the only, well, two, owned by Rupert Murdoch, of course, and Fox News, and three, and most importantly, were the only news entity who even bothered to pick up the story, because even Fox News said no, right?
Wow.
So like that's wild that Fox News says no to anything that could put down Joe Biden, right?
This has got to be the end, man.
Well,
what about OAN? Did they pick it up?
No, they didn't. However, I told you about OAN, right?
Yeah.
Did I tell you? Yeah.
You told us about them.
Yeah. And so like I was talking to my old classmate about how the ratings were doing. He's like, the ratings are all-time highs.
Oh
For
God.
OAN?
Yes.
Well, you know what? People on that last debate, the town halls. I mean, it wasn't a debate because they had to do it separately because Donald Trump doesn't want to like get a negative COVID test. But regardless, though, the ratings for Joe Biden were higher than Donald Trump. What do you say to that? That's pretty scary.
Trump hates
Donald
that.
Trump
you know
must
that.
be so mad about that one stupid, meaningless fact. He must just be stewing.
Did Joe Biden bring it up?
The ratings?
No, Obama
no,
just did.
Obama did.
Last thing.
Oh, that's funny.
Just as like a jab because he already knows.
You have to, because that's gotta hit him.
Thing.
Yeah.
It's like the Lincoln Project ads where they just like bring up stupid shit that just is gonna make Donald Trump upset and make him look crazy, but nobody else cares about. Nobody else will ever care about the ratings of the town halls except for Donald Trump and whoever wants to bring it up to Donald Trump so that he can get all riled up about it and look crazy. But we got a debate tomorrow.
I know, but hold on. Before that, I just got this tweet. Breaking news, by the way. It says the FBI is going to hold an announcement tonight on what it is calling a major election security issue, which of course happens 2 weeks before the election.
What's the major security issue? Is it Bill Barr? Is he leading the announcement?
I have no idea, but we know it's going to be, of course, detrimental to Joe Biden.
I know what it's going to be. It's going to be Joe Biden is leading in the polls. We got to stop him. It's detrimental to the future of the U.S. Oh yeah, I mean,
election be fucking over already.
Yeah, the election needs to be over. I was thinking about knocking on doors in Pennsylvania, but you know what? I might as well just make phone calls to Larry and just hope that he answers. That's about it. I'm done. I don't really want to go and walk around Pennsylvania. I feel like the Pennsylvanians should do it.
I agree.
Yeah, I think that might be the move. But regardless, though, I'm just nervous that these polls are all bullshit. I'm not doing 4 more years of this bullshit. I'm not doing 4 more years of listening to Donald Trump. We're never going to get out of this fucking pandemic, and I hate the pandemic. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm the least fan of the pandemic. Like, if even one person goes, oh, well, at least, like, we get to, like, sit and, like, inside and read a book and, like, it's not that bad. No, I don't have any benefits from this pandemic. Not one thing has this pandemic made my life better. All it does is like kill people and make everyone have a bad time. And Donald Trump's not going to do shit because he doesn't care. He got it and he still doesn't give a shit. True or false? The guy doesn't give a shit.
I mean, that's true.
We're never going to get out of this. James, Montana's spiking, no?
Yeah, the COVID cases are going up quite a bit here. They're
it's around the
getting
country.
a lot of patients in the hospital now.
This is a nightmare.
So
we got to get rid of Joe Biden. It needs to be a single issue, and that needs to be it. just say we got to get out of COVID, and Donald Trump doesn't care about COVID. So how would he ever get us out of it? He doesn't even care about it. It's not his priority list.
People here are still saying, well, just open it up.
Oh, no.
And it's like, whatever. And then, it's bizarre because you see, like, everybody was following the mask guidelines, like, pretty closely for months. Like, since it came out, since Steve Bullock said, we have a mask mandate for, like, these counties or whatever. Yeah. And then just in the last month or two, people are, like, not wearing masks. Or they're just wearing face shields. And it's like, why would you even bother wearing a face shield if you're just going to wear a face shield? Like, you're just blowing.
Face shield looks cool. I mean,
yeah,
also,
sure,
a face shield's much more inconvenient than a mask.
Yeah.
Yes, they're sweaty. They insulate heat.
It's weird on your forehead. You look like
a freak.
Like a freaking beehive tender, or whatever the hell they're called.
So
Beekeeper.
Just as cases are going up, everybody's like, "No, fuck masks. Like, we'll just go at it. Like, doesn't matter.
We gotta open
her up. Open her up.
I feel like I haven't seen.
Let her rip.
Like I haven't seen open up in a while, though. I haven't heard like just open it all up in a while. No.
In Montana or in the United States?
No, in the U.S. I haven't heard that.
Bro, are you serious?
It's open up.
And even here in L.A., like Sunday, there were a whole bunch of Trump 2020. What do you call these giant school buses that were driving through Venice and Santa Monica?
Saying open up.
Literally, it said open our schools. That's literally what it said on the
open our schools. I don't like that Joe Biden's willing to listen to science. That's the one knock I have against him, is that science is oftentimes bullshit, and we shouldn't listen to it.
I prefer my politicians to listen to lobbyists, to be honest with you.
I like lobbyists. That's a good one. I like own intuition, meaning own mind. If you're rump and you think you know what's good for the country, why would you listen to a stupid scientist? They're nerds. Fact or fiction? James, science is for nerds?
Yeah, fact.
Fact. Della,
you got to go with your gut.
Yeah,
you got to go with your gut.
Science is for morons.
Yeah, science is for morons. Your gut always knows which way to go.
Correct.
And Donald Trump's gut has only got him COVID, but he recovered very quickly. So what does that tell you? He did the right move.
Yeah, it's saying something.
I wonder this.
But I mean,
yeah, if you got COVID and you knew someone that got COVID and they died from COVID, and then you see Donald Trump get COVID and he gets like cocktails of the wildest, speculative drugs on the market that are being tested. Oh, I got Regeneron drugs and I got these, these cool like cocktails that you're never going to get. You're just a regular person in a hospital on a ventilator, and you're not going to get any of these drugs that he got. And you're just like, that makes sense. Like, to me, like, this is cool. Like, the president gets COVID and I get COVID and I'm going to die and the president's going to be just fine. And that makes sense. And he's a fat old man and it's not like he's a low risk guy and who's healthy. He's a fat old man that should be dead. And yet he's not going to. You're going to die if you're a fat old man and but if you're the president and you get a cocktail of God only knows what, you can survive. And you must just be thinking like, man, the president should be dead right now. Like, if he was just a regular person, he'd be dead. Fat, old, and, like, sick and gross? No way. No way he's surviving. It's just like, I mean, how can you think, like, the president gives a shit about you when you know that if you were in the same circumstance, you'd be dead?
Right.
You'd be dead. So why are we pretending like the president cares about anything? You would be dead if you were in the same circumstance as him.
He literally doesn't care.
He doesn't.
He doesn't care.
What's his name? Was it Herman Cain that died?
Yeah.
He literally knows somebody who died, and he was just like, no social distancing, no masks. That's for weaklings. Like,
Herman Cain was a true patriot. He came to one of my rallies without a mask on. That's what it takes to be a true patriot.
You're willing to die.
You're willing to
die.
Well, you're not going to get Trump's treatments. Like Christie was, even after Christie got it, and he's a fat slob, and he was like, "Oh, I'm not You know, we should probably wear masks.
Yeah, he's like, I regret not wearing masks. I'm like, yeah, fucking idiot.
Yeah, of course you do. How convenient. It took you getting COVID by hanging out with the president and training him to do a bad job at a debate for you to realize that maybe masks were a good idea. I mean, God, what a piece of shit. These people are just so shitty. It really is like, and I was thinking, if I was Joe Biden every day, ever since that last debate when he made fun of him for wearing a mask, I'd be like, dude, you got COVID. You're gross. You're a gross, disgusting, weak human. Look how pathetic you are.
I can't
COVID.
wait for him to call. I can't wait for him to call that out.
I mean, he's got to. Be like, you got COVID. What are you saying to me?
What are you saying?
I
know.
think I look like a weak loser for wearing a mask? You got COVID. And everybody else that would get COVID, this is the only line that he should say is, you got COVID, and if somebody else in your same position, in the same like physical condition as you got COVID, they'd be dead. So you are a big pile of shit. You're a big pile of shit. What is Joe Biden holding back now? But you know what? He's got to be civil, and whatever they tell him to say, he should say, because there's no loss to just like towing the morality line at this point. He shouldn't listen to anything I say. He should just keep doing whatever he's doing and let Donald Trump be a monster. It seems to be working.
Yeah.
I'm just like
absolutely.
so sick of this bullshit. Like, it's like, God, if people are still undecided or people are still like, the polls are close, like, what are you waiting for? Just admit it. You're like kind of a piece of shit. Can we just...
People just do not give a shit. I've always believed this, man. Like, people just don't care. And if they did care, to be honest with you, if people did care, this would not be a close election. But people care about two things, right?
What?
Their wallet. This is how their wallet, number one.
Yeah.
And how far they are. I'm telling you this. This is why Trump gets what they did. How far they are from those people, right? Because you want to be as far away as possible from the people who aren't who what do you call this? Like, could infringe upon you living your life how it's supposed to be lived, right?
Yeah.
And my roommate had an excellent point. He was like, if you ever see people talk to like minorities, right, who are poor, they're like, you know what? I'm poor, and it's just how it is sometimes. If you talk to certain white people who are poor, they're like, I'm not supposed to be poor. It's their fault that I'm poor. I am not poor. I am just not there yet, right? And that's why they're mad about this tax hike, which will never impact them. They won't make $400,000 over a decade. But you know what, though? They are mad because they think that it's coming for them, right? Like, that's the one thing that keeps the Trump base the way it is, for better or for worse. I really do think that's what it is.
I think so. What you think is that these people need a reality check. What the polling should just ask is, hey, are you like about to make 400K? And then it goes like, are you worried about the taxes? And you go, yes. Are you about to make 400K? No. And then you'd be like, dude, I'm going to tell you something. This is going to be big for your life right now. You don't need to worry about the taxes anymore. It will never affect you. It's never going to affect you. Don't worry about it. I know you think it is, but like, you just answered those two questions and it was a quick poll and it turns out you're wrong. It's going to be a lot of stress. Are you ready to be stress-free? You know?
How unfathomable is it too to make over 400K in a year? Like when is that going to happen? It's never going to happen.
400K. Hey, I'm doing really well this month.
Yeah. I'm doing really well. Like, I can't pay for any social services. Like, no, like, screw them. Like, what?
Yeah, once you make 400K, are you just like, fuck those poor people? If I have to pay one tax dollar over 400K to those peasants, I'm going to blow my brains out. If I have to live with less than 400K because they're going to take it away in taxes, but this is over 400K. So your 400K is getting taxed at the regular tax bracket. This is over 400K. Okay, my 500K, my 100K over 400K on my 500K salary is going to be taxed at like what, 2% higher. I won't stand for this, and I think we should be fighting for these people.
Yeah, it's definitely like, I'm thinking about this as like, definitely think through. I just laugh because it's just hilarious. You definitely got to think through all the scenarios in which why people like vote and think the way they do as it relates to like this type of stuff. People get so threatened so easily, right? Especially right now. Think about this. We're at the same reckoning point that the nation was in 1968 or even 1964 when Lyndon Johnson was running for re-election, and people had that same reckoning point, right? That's why Nixon ended up winning in '68. Law and order come through. You know, these people are going to come through and take over your land. They're going to be in the what do you call this?
The
They're
suburbs.
going to be your neighborhood suburbs. Yeah, which at the time, by the way, at that time, the suburbs were in the middle of being destroyed, right? Because like they were building highways in between the suburbs and like splitting the black people and white people like that, right? So we're at the exact same point. It's funny, history repeats itself 60 years later. And what do? You use exact same scare tactics, right?
Yeah.
Same exact scare tactics. So, and they work. They never fail. It doesn't
He's kind
matter
of
what
bailing
country
on the
you're in.
law and order thing a little bit.
No, he's not. What he's doing is
Antifa
he's turning
stuff, but like I don't think people are buying it anymore.
No, they are. There's an article
they really
I read.
Are.
They really
like
are. There's an article. Yeah, there's a really good article about it in Georgia. How like the suburbs in Georgia. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna send this to y'all.
The suburban white women are scared.
Yes, they're afraid of defund the police, which is and all that other stuff, man.
Stop it.
They are. They think defund the police means get rid of the police.
Good. Right? I should get rid of the friggin' police. They freaked me out. One cop pulled me over and made me do like a little pen test, and he was like, all right, you can go. And I was like, you're a real piece of shit. You cops really are the fucking worst. They're the worst people. No, I think they should be defunded. We had this as our first freaking pod recording, and they're still the worst. They're still the fucking worst. You know why? Because they don't actually help people. They just like try to like scare people and intimidate them into doing whatever the hell they want to do. They're freaking monsters, and they don't wear body cams, and they're not held to any standards of like being a normal civilian. And when you interact with the police, you're basically a pathetic nothing like piece of shit to them, and they can just do whatever they want. And then when anything comes to light,
you can't fight back.
Yeah, what are you gonna? You can't do anything. Hey, I wasn't speeding. You're gonna go to jail. I'm gonna fuck you up your day. You're gonna go have legal costs up the yin yang. Have fun ruining your entire life by talking back to me. It's like, holy shit, I'm just a regular like citizen of the U.S. Like I'm just a nobody. Like where do you get all this power to just ruin my life over nothing? Like you don't care. It doesn't matter to you, and yet it's just like you have so much power, and you have a gun. You're like, you know, you're holding it immediately as if I'm gonna do anything. It's like, wow, we are fucked. These police need to get the fuck out. It's enough with the police. Get a freaking armored, like, get a helper. How about the roadside helper? You know what he does? He just records people speeding, and they get a ticket in the mail. That's what he does. He doesn't like bother with anyone with a gun. He doesn't do it. If your lights out, if your headlights out, he comes and he fixes it for you because he's the roadside helper. He's not the police who's like gonna like always be carrying a gun and always be coming over trying to like screw up your life. Why? Why would you need that in most scenarios? Never. You never need a guy with a gun in most scenarios. If we do need a scenario with a guy with a gun, then yes, maybe a guy with a gun goes into a scenario where he's needed. But most scenarios are just regular people. They're just regular people that get scared when they see a guy with a gun, like being kind of racist toward them. What do you think of that? Hot take? The police aren't racist?
No, not a hot take.
Pretty sure everyone knows that. That's a common knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's enough. Enough with the fucking police.
But yeah, I'm with Della on this. Like, people are freaked out, and it is
law
about it is about law and order.
But do you think law and order is
well, in big
COVID?
Quotation marks, law and order, but like also the other and being like, oh no, like these people are going to move in.
Yeah,
and I mean, going back,
that's always going to be a thing. That's like a classic racist trope of right, like Della said, Nixon era. But like, do you think that's going to trump COVID? I don't think so. And you know what? Also, I don't think helped Trump getting COVID. Definitely didn't help Trump's case that like this election's not about COVID.
Well, no, it did help his case because if anything, he survived, and he's a fat slob, and he eats McDonald's every day. You know, he has hypertension. You know, he has like hyperlipidemia. You know he has a list of chronic health problems.
He has a chronic
health problems.
Yeah.
And he lived, and he's just like, yeah, anybody else who didn't live sucks. Like, you know that like,
no, I know,
let's open up the economy.
But the one thing that I think people disapprove of Donald Trump for is his handling of the pandemic. Whether or not they believe that Donald Trump has superpowers to survive.
I don't even know if it's that. I think more than anything, I think people care, like, again, going back to people's wallet, People care about the economy, whether they can buy gas and get to work. You know, that's what they care about.
They do,
And if,
but when it comes to COVID, I'm saying people generally highly disapprove of Donald Trump's handling of the pandemic, which if you can change the topic from being about the pandemic to being about the economy or being about law and order or whatever Donald Trump wants it to be about, then you're good to go. I think that's a benefit for Donald Trump. But Donald Trump getting COVID forced the conversation back to fucking COVID, the one thing he doesn't want to fucking talk about because that's his worst ratings when it comes to COVID. So Donald Trump getting COVID just made the conversation back to fucking COVID, which is the one thing he does not want to ever speak about. But now it's going to be like, remember when Donald Trump got COVID? And like, what's he doing about COVID? How's the guy that got COVID going to handle COVID? He doesn't want to wear a mask. It's like all these things he does not want to speak about. He only wants to tell you that that Joe Biden's going to tax you and ruin the economy, that he was booming before the pandemic, and that law and order is needed because of the chaos that's happening under the Trump administration. He wants law and order to fix what's happening currently under his own administration. Why not? Why blame that on Biden too? What's actually happening is Biden's fault, and I'm going to fix it in my own, like, once I become president for another 4 years. It's Antifa. It's all happening under my watch, but it's not my fault. It's like something I can fix, but I'm not going to fix it now because I don't know. Why wouldn't you fix it now? I guess I don't need to. I guess it doesn't matter. It's funny to just say that like law and order is a big deal when I have the power to fix it, but I'm not going to. I don't know. All I'm saying is COVID is a bad topic for Donald Trump. And if the more that anybody focuses on it, including Joe Biden, the worse it is for Donald Trump. Get the topic off of COVID, for God's sakes.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's not happening tomorrow, this debate. So.
Oh, yeah. Joe Biden's going to be like, dude, you got COVID. We all remember you just had COVID. Are we not going to talk about COVID that you just got? That was horrible. What do you think about the moderators? What do you think about we just did a hot take after that shitty debate, but what do you think? That debate was shit because Chris Wallace was being a friggin' doofus and not taking control of the debate. They also didn't have mute. I think they're planning on putting that in on the next debate. You think that the next debate, they were saying that there's some contention over whether it's going to happen or not, but I think it's going to happen. The question is, what do they do in this debate that makes it different than the last one?
I mean, they're cutting out the microphones right at the very beginning, which I think is stupid. Like they should cut it off whenever any other person is talking, because I mean, in a traditional LD debate or Lincoln Douglas debate, you're supposed to give the other person their 2 minutes, right? And don't speak. You just write down notes and then you speak, right? Unfortunately, you know, Trump is not going to ever behold himself to those rules that he has agreed to, except the one about cutting the mics. He didn't agree to that. But like, I think that tomorrow's debate is going to be a disaster. I do think that what Biden should do. I do. I think what Biden should do is let him just talk. Let him talk. Let him talk and talk and talk. There is at this point, your whole point of this is to just get out neutral, right? Just concentrate on what you want to say. Let him speak. Moonwalk when you need to moonwalk away from that Justice at Supreme Court packing the court question.
He better have a fucking answer on that stupid question.
No, he shouldn't. No,
Chuck Schumer should say the same dumb. No, but the question should just be, you know what? Everything's on the table. If they push through this Supreme Court nomination, Amy Coney, which they are going to, everything's on the table, and that's it. Or if you think it's better politically to say we're not ever going to pack the courts, then say that. I don't give a shit. None of this is going to be held to his standard. What do you think?
Now you got to understand this. The way this game is being played right now, or he knows early voting is happening right now. Okay. I bet at this point, probably close to half of this country is going to vote early, all right, or through mail. Yeah. So he's like, let them vote, all right. He's like, I'm not probably going to get most of these people who vote on election day. I bet that's what they're telling him. Yeah. So let these people vote. Keep your mouth shut. Let's just play ambivalence.
What are you going to say to pack the court?
Well, so then what happens is he said after Amy Coney Barrett's been confirmed, I will speak. So she's probably going to get confirmed sometime next week, and then when she does, then at that point speak and say, look, you know what, this was unfair. If you want to do that, this is unfair, bullshit. Like, we're doing this, or you know what, I'm not planning to do that. And make sure you give yourself an out to say, you know what, I'm not planning. And then it seems.
Well, you could just do the same thing McConnell said. You know, it's like, oh, if in an election year, I wouldn't nominate a Supreme Court justice. You know, but that's only if the White House and the Senate are controlled by different parties, because that's the thing. I mean, Lindsey Graham said even if they are controlled by opposite parties, it doesn't really matter. But McConnell gave himself an out. I think Joe Biden needs to just make up some nonsense, whatever appeals to whatever the undecided voters that Dell has found, whatever they like to hear. What do they want to hear? They want to hear that we're not packing the courts. Say we're not packing the court. Say, as of right now, we have no plans to pack the courts. Why is that a bad answer? Because who cares? You can flip-flop and immediately after you get elected, nobody gives it. No one's going to hold you to that. Oh, you're going to hold Joe Biden to that, but you're not going to hold Lindsey Graham and every other friggin' Republican senator. So
that's exactly what's going to happen.
Good riddance.
They have a whole propaganda wing.
I know. It's good.
Like,
let it be
nothing.
said. Joe Biden just needs to go, as of now, I'm not planning on packing the court. Done. That's the end of the end. Oh, wow, I changed my mind? Who gives a fuck? You people don't even pay attention to politics. This story will blow over in 24 hours when I pack the court full of super liberal Supreme Court justices.
I feel like it's kind of harder for Biden to do that, not only because, A, like I said, they have a whole propaganda wing, but B, because
what's wrong with that? As of right now, we're not planning on packing the court. That's a fine statement. It means nothing, just like everything else everybody says. It has no substantive meaning.
No, but right now, go ahead, James.
Well, the only other thing is just that, I mean, Trump has the whole thing that every 12 hours almost, some new scandal comes out. We've already forgot. You can't even focus on something. No. Whereas they can, keep repeating the same thing until everybody believes it's the truth.
Yeah. Good riddance. They're going to do it anyway. I don't give a shit. These people are monsters. They've been talking about Hunter Biden's laptop for the past probably 48, 72 hours. Nobody even knows if that story is true, and they still focus on it.
But they believe it, and that's what matters.
Exactly. So if they're going to say it anyway, they're going to pick up a story anyway. Well, they picked up that story, and that story's dumb. At least, hey, maybe I packed the court. We can play recordings of Biden saying at this point we're not planning on it. Who knows what will happen in the future? Who cares?
Well, I'll tell you this: there's a poll that the New York Times put out yesterday saying that
more polling,
66, more polling. I know you love it. I love numbers and stuff like this.
I love the polling. I know it's all fucking bullshit because the general public doesn't give a fuck. Anybody who's willing to answer a poll cares too much about something, and everybody else doesn't even bother answering the fucking phone.
Well, here's what the poll said, and you're gonna hate this, Stan. That 66%, or a little over, said that they don't agree with increasing the number of Supreme Court justices.
Good. Oh, Della, if you show me one person that gives a fuck about the number of Supreme Court justices, I'm gonna blow my brains out. You bring me one person who's not politically active that actually cares about the number. You have to get me an undecided voter that doesn't pay attention to politics, that legitimately cares about the number of Supreme Court justices. That is the stupidest, fakest news I ever heard about. James, there's people out there that care about the number of Supreme Court justices. Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah. Of course they do, because
I'm talking about people that aren't politically sided anyway, meaning that they're not Republican, they're not Democrat, they don't pay attention to politics, but they care about the number of Supreme Court justices.
It's not even necessarily undecided voters, though, too.
I'm saying, who cares then? If they're already Trump supporters, then they're already Trump supporters. If they're already voting for Joe Biden, then they already care about that they should pack the court. I'm saying the people that you're interested in targeting don't care about the number of Supreme Court justices. The people that are already decided, yeah, sure they care. I care. You care. I think they should pack the courts if they push through this nomination. It's ridiculous. They just shove a bunch of conservative justices and then flip their whole position on when they should pack the court, when they should fill the court, when they shouldn't fill the court. What about all the federal judges that they pushed through, all those conservative, wacko federal judges that Obama didn't push through, that Trump thought to just plow through? Nobody cares. Nobody's asking questions about that. It's all bullshit. Meaning, who cares? Pack the courts. If you ask the common person, what do you think about packing the courts? They go, I don't even know. Don't talk to me. They go, I don't care about that. I don't care about you. I don't care about anything that you're saying to me. I care about when am I getting my next paycheck, and I don't want to get fucking COVID. That's it. They don't care about packing the courts. back in the court.
I'm telling you, man. You
Where
say
are these
this, and
polls taken?
this
Where
is
are these
how
polls taken?
the way you talk is how Clinton lost, bro. I am telling you, people care a lot about this shit.
It's a lot
even as-
different. I talk about this stuff, but I always act as if we are losing every poll ever taken. Meaning, I will call Pennsylvanians with a double point lead because I don't believe any of that bullshit. But at the same time, I think it's fucking stupid. Who the hell cares about the number of Supreme Court justices, Della? Most people don't even know what name me one person on the Supreme Court. If you asked a common person, name me one person on the Supreme Court, would they be able to tell you?
Probably not.
Oh, it's
Of
enough
course not.
already. People can't even name the vice president of the United States right now. People don't know
They
what's
don't need
going
to. He doesn't exist.
on. He's scared. They're scared of him getting COVID. He needs to stay away from President Trump. Mike Pence with that fly on his head. That was also happened in the week since we last talked. Mike Pence in that weird VP debate, all he got attention for was that fly landing on his head and just kind of, feeding off of his dead corpse that existed. I don't know. Oof. All right, boys. Della, I'll see you next week. James, good luck in Montana. Hopefully you survive the pandemic.
That'd be good.
Yeah, I have faith in you, bud. Good luck out there.